Enlightened World Network. Today we have new month numerology for April 2025 and our very favorite numerologist, Michele Landers. We are so pleased to have you here, Michele. Thank you for doing this for us every month.
I'm very honored to do it. You know how I feel about EWN. I love it and everything that you offer. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so what do I want to start out with is I know that there was a lot going on in March, but it's overflowing into April. I mean, it just doesn't stop. And within the background of this 9 universal year, it's pretty much going to be a repeat for a while, up until probably towards the fall, possibly. And we're just going to have a lot of this energy and these ups and downs. So just hold on tight, keep your center. And I was also thinking about something that Marianne Williamson recently mentioned, and it's called the 10th monkey syndrome. And I don't know if everybody has ever heard of that. But I think it's the 100th monkey, not the 10th. I'm sorry. And the 100th monkey syndrome is so many, a few monkeys do this, and then more monkeys do it, and then more monkeys do it, watching other monkeys. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, it explodes and all the monkeys on another island start doing it. It's almost like this mental telepathy. And it's actually something you could look up, 100th monkey syndrome. I believe that is what's happening with us. A lot of people are waking up. There's so much more consciousness going on in the planet. And why is that? Because it's insane right now. It's insane and it's messy, and all of these leaders vying for power. It's just crazy, crazy times and intense. And people are being awakened. I really, really believe that. And I feel that strongly. And within the midst of all of this energy that's going on planetarily and numerologically, we just have to hold our center and believe that things will get better. Not today, not tomorrow. So we'll start off as we usually do with the numerology of April. So April is a karmic month. Not that the whole year isn't karmic, but it's a very karmic month because it's a 13-4 month. If you add 4 of April to the universal year of 9, what do you get? You get 13. So this April of 2025 carries this 13-4 vibration, which is karmic. It's a powerful combination of the 13, which is transformation, and 4, which is order, discipline, disciplinarian, authoritarian. And so the background of every month, though, carries the energy of 9. So what does that mean? We're always in this background, this backdrop of endings. So things are endings. With endings come new beginnings. But I do have to say, the 1 is very independent. The 3 is very creative. And that has a lot to do with the entertainment field as well. So let's break it down a little bit. 1, again, is about individuality, standing in your power. 3 is about creativity, expressing, speaking your truth, which, by the way, we're going to hear a lot of that this month. As a matter of fact, I think on April 5th, there is going to be some kind of worldwide march or protest or something going on, which is very appropriate for this month. So what about 4? The number 4, as in all the numbers, everything has their positive characteristics, everything has their challenges. So what is 4? 4 can be struggles. So the theme of the month, again, is this discipline, creating new structures. Now, that could be figuratively, that could be physically, and it's also about hard work. 4 also has a connection to real estate and contracts, and law. So I'm wondering what we're going to hear about, what kind of activity in the housing department. On a personal level, perfect for spring. It's a good time to work on your home and your garden. So it's April, and April is typically spring cleaning time, planting time. So 4 has this energy of getting things done, but also perhaps feeling a little frustrated or a little blocked or a little restricted in some way. So 4, yes, it can be struggles. It's just seems like difficulty in getting things done. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 4 steps forward, 3 steps back. It's that kind of energy. A lot of details to be taken care of this month, especially when 4 shows up. 4 is quite determined, quite stubborn. So we do have to be very aware of not digging in our heels about things and unwilling to see things differently. Excuse me. And we can get caught up in the minutia. So we're going to be presented with a number of challenges this month, and it's going to test our limits to determine what are your limits? How much will you take before you start to take action or do something different in your life? It's very important this month to check and double check all the details. So looking at the tarot, we have the 13th card of the tarot, and that's the death card. Not to be feared, not to freak out when that card comes up. What does it symbolize? Transformation. We are going through an incredibly transformative time. And this month, a lot of stuff again is bubbling up. It's about death and rebirth, but death of the old, rebirth of the new, and hard work to get those things done. It's letting go, which is so much in alignment with the universal year. It's letting go of old patterns. It may be letting go of relationships. It may be letting go of situations that no longer serve us. It warns us that old patterns must dissolve in order for something new to emerge. It's not the time to take shortcuts. It's not the time to, push things under the rug, and things can feel very, very frustrating. So again, the number 4 is about what? Structure, discipline, building a solid foundation. So we're likely going to be presented with more challenges this month, but that's okay, because this is a time for us to look honestly at what ideas are we so married to, or what beliefs are we so married to that we can't even see the forest for the trees. It's a real encouraging month in that respect to look at the reality of things. So the number 4 in the tarot is the Emperor. And the Emperor, I love how these things all coincide and enhance and accentuate one another. The 4 of the month, the 4 of the tarot, the planetary movements. So the 4 is the Emperor. And what does the Emperor stand for? His energy is very, very strong, and it's very strong this month. So the Emperor can represent rule of law. A lot of issues of law are on the agenda this month. Interestingly, it can also mean decision making by, and I'm not making this up, by people or rulers or leaders who might be out of touch. Now, this is globally, this is the United States, but it's also globally, and you can apply it to your own personal life. Just think about that. The Emperor usually represents a powerful leader who demands respect, who demands authority, a maverick, a rebel, and someone who has their own plan. It can represent some aggression, and I am very careful about saying it. Even it's warlike energy, and that's kind of echoed in some of the planetary transits. And I don't want you to get scared of that. The world isn't ending or anything like that. There are other wars that very likely will break out. There may be, again, and I know I had mentioned this last month, but there may be some type of cyber attacks here. It also has to do, but four also has to do with the earth. So again, this month, we might have, again, physical eruptions of some type, whether that's land, but it's also tempers. There's a lot of angry energy, tempers flying. It can mean, again, matters of the land and things having to do, again, with real estate. So in astrology, the emperor is linked to Aries, and Aries is a fire sign ruled by Mars. And that just further emphasizes all these characteristics I was just speaking about. And we're in Aries season until April 19th, and then we're going to switch to Taurus. So what is Aries? Aries is energy and action, and I want to go out there and I want to do it. It very much is in alignment with the number one, and very much in alignment with some of the other planetary movements. So what's the positive side of the four? It's being organized, it's being specific, it's being determined, it's creating new positive plans and foundations and structures. It's staying focused and disciplined. It's creating an efficient plan to move forward. And I want to emphasize that so much because I think this is a really critical month for all of us. And I will keep saying this over and over again, globally and personally. We are being invited to lay new positive foundations, to look at our beliefs, to see what needs a reevaluation this month. So how can we align with this 13-4 energy? Well, it's karmic. So look at the areas of your life that you're going, wow, you know what? This keeps coming up over and over for me. I need to change this. It's a great month to do that. The problem is with the four, it kind of is restricted and determined and stubborn. So it's inviting us through these trials, through these tribulations to break out of that. We need to let go of outdated structures or habits. We have to focus on practical steps to manifest your goals. We have to work on, as always, creating balance between our work and our self-care, which is so important because it's so easy to get out of balance, especially this entire year. Also, I want to encourage everybody to be patient. Growth takes time. But when we have the patience to just see things through, clean up our own house, the rewards are incredible. So in addition to the four energy, for the United States, we also have the number 6 operating. I just wanted to mention that briefly. And what is the 6? The 6 is all about home, family, health, medicine, healing. So there might be some new things that come up about healing. There's an emphasis on families. There's an emphasis on medicine, on health, on healing, on workers, on food distribution, on things that nurture us. Relationships are very, very much in the forefront this month across the board. Again, globally, personally, we might feel irritated, not just by what's going on in the world, but in our own personal, what's going on around us with relationships. People can just seem irritating, but it's the energy that's out there and the crazy energy, and it's our trying to get our body to acclimate to it, our body and our minds. So it can lead to some heated arguments. The 6 is very opinionated, so no surprise, we're going to have a lot of opinions flying around and a lot of protesting, as I said, going on. And I think there's something coming up on the 5th. What else did I want to say about that? There may be a need to let go of certain people and certain relationships in your life, although I have to say this might be brewing, but the finality of something, again, globally and personally, may not occur until July or August, but there's things in the works or things going on with relationships. The six also asks us to check in with our responsibilities. And the one thing I wanted to say about that too is I'm really feeling that. I'm really reevaluating what are my responsibilities and what do I need to allow people to go through on their own without my trying to fix that. Okay, that's very important. Also, I have noticed that my temper is just a little bit shorter. And I realized that that is because of the energy. I noticed I was a little bit more impatient and I go, wow, that's that four energy, that incoming four energy that you don't have a lot of patience. And that's what you need in a four is patience. It's time to do some serious healing. It's a time to comfort others. The six is all about that. The six, the great part of the six, nurturing family relationships, being kind, being compassionate. It is taking on responsibility, but personal responsibility, not playing the blame game. The number six, above all, wants peace of mind, personally, globally. And the six also has to do with workers that we employ. So I'm thinking, since this is also, more specifically on a global level, I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but it does have to do with workers, the workforce. Six also has a connection to pets. So that's very interesting. So keep an eye on your pets. And yeah, it's a great month to adopt a pet as well. Really is a rescue pet. So, what about the astrological aspect? Well, again, April is Aries season. And so, what's April energy? It's very dynamic, it's very bold. Aries is ruled by Mars. And at this point in time, I think most everyone knows, if you've been listening to these uh, explanations every month, these forecasts, energy, Mars and Aries are both fiery, and Mars is at the helm this month. And Mars is bold and action oriented and passionate and headstrong, but it also likes to get things done, get her done. So later in the month, we'll be in Taurus season, and that just might bring a little bit of a slowdown. So right now we have the sun in Aries. Towards the end of the month, again, the sun will move into Taurus. And I'm feeling like this is, I don't want to be dramatic, but I think it calls for that. It's kind of like this constant battle between good and evil taking place. And what's a little bit scary is some of the transits. Now, I realize not every transit is exactly the same, but they're very similar to what went on in 1968. So, what does that mean? Well, we again, and I know I've repeated this before, there seems to be a likelihood of some assassination attempts taking place. It's also this war-like energy. Now, April 2nd through the 4th, well, let's go to the 4th. I want to go to the 4th first. Or no, let me go to the 3rd. So on the 3rd, I have a lot of this kind of mixed up, so forgive me for that, because there's so much. April 3rd, Venus is retrograde, conjunct the North Node in Pisces. North Node is, going forward in the future. So what's Venus? Venus is love, it's beauty, it's relationship. The North Nodes represent our future, our karmic destiny. It can bring about either fated events in your personal close relationships or across the board. But since Venus is retrograde, it's probably more about past relationships and things globally that happened in the past, revisiting, reassessing things to bring them forth. But again, it's all about relationships. So moving forward to April 4th, that seems to be a crazy day. Now, it could be a little before, it could be a little after, but Mars is debilitated in Cancer from April 2nd to June 6th. So, I mean, that's a long period of time, but during this period, Mars enters a phase of debilitation, which can diminish a little bit its fiery traits, but it also can lead to a lot of emotional turmoil, dilemmas across all different areas of our life. Decision making can be compromised. It requires a lot of extra caution. Focus on managing your personal relationships. Be very careful with that. I keep repeating that because some relationships can be really shattered this month, which we don't want that to happen. We have to be really careful, really cognizant of our words, of our thoughts, of what's going on around us, by the way. Be extra careful, again, in groups, in dark places, just be aware. You just don't want to take any chances in this month. Not that you ever do, but I want you to have a little bit of an extra eye out for things that seem wonky or don't seem right. So on the 4th as well, there's Mars in Cancer, sextile Uranus in Taurus, Mars in Cancer trine Saturn in Pisces. So this is a lot of restlessness, a strong impulse towards rebellion or change. With Uranus, well, what can you expect? You can expect the unexpected. Can you expect havoc? Maybe. Warlike energy? Yes, maybe. But I'm saying, when I was doing this, I'm saying, okay, well, maybe within all of the midst of all this, maybe there'll be some unexpected good, something good that turns up, something that we hear about. We go, oh, wow, maybe some possible unexpected breakthrough. Definitely, again, we have these protests going on, though, and a lot more people speaking up and speaking out. Now, on April 6th, I kind of like this day. I want to, capture that energy, that feel good energy I think we have on April 6th. Little bit of a feeling, could be a feeling of optimism, new information coming through, be open to new communications. So I think that's kind of a good day. Now, April 7th, we have Venus retrograde conjunct Saturn in Pisces, and Mercury is stationing direct in Pisces. So yay, Mercury's out of retrograde. So that can help. I know I've had my own issues. I seem to always have issues with Mercury retrograde at my computer, and I don't know what I've done to computers in the past, which is kind of a silly question, I guess, because in a previous life, we didn't probably have computers. So anyway, that seems to be my deal. But anyway, Mercury's out of retrograde, so yay, yay, yay. We're going to have a real need to get clarity on issues. And the surprising note is it actually just might bring clarity. Maybe more secrets being uncovered. Things from last year that may come out may surprise us. April 10th to the 13th. Well, before I get to that, let's talk about April 12th. Sun in Aries, conjunct Chiron in Aries. So what is Chiron? Chiron is called or known as the wounded healer. It represents our deep emotional wounds. So this is a really good day to look at what wounds may be hampering our growth, what wounds we still need to heal, and how to move through any of those wounds with courage. Because let's be honest, I've heard people say, oh, I had therapy for that years ago. Well, I got to tell you something, at least in my own life, and I'm not a young chicken, but I have to tell you, there's always something to revisit. That is, if you want to grow and evolve. If you're really happy where you are, fine. But for most of us, there's always this impetus or this desire to progress, to be productive, to evolve, to grow. And that is absolutely in sync with nature. Nature is constantly evolving, constantly growing. So we may get some clarity around some issues, which would be really wonderful. Now, April 13th, I think that is, yes, that is the full moon in Libra. Well, what's Libra? Libra is associated with balance, having balance, needing balance. The moon is feminine. Libra is feminine. So it brings either a woman or women to the forefront, or female issues, or groups of females. Just bringing that out, speaking out more, but it's definitely is a very, very strong female energy. It also, come to think of it, it also could have to do with gender or injustices of some type. It can be a challenging day, annoyingly challenging. Something might be triggered. Got to watch quick tempers. That day could also be a trigger or a turning point of some type. On the 14th, we have Saturn conjunct the node in Pisces. Now, Pisces, I'm sorry. This is a pretty serious transit, and it can bring some profound transformation. It can bring a fated event. You know Saturn, right? Saturn's that teacher. Saturn is the taskmaster. You don't get away with anything with Saturn, but it's to teach us again. It might be the taskmaster, but it's also teaching us things. It's a very karmic day. It could be a karmic closing, a karmic ending, a turning point of some type. Now, it's also about long-term commitments. It could bring up something about the environment. It also has a connection to water. It could be some people are not happy or not, they're just angry and they're, speaking out. So let's jump ahead to April 16th, Mercury conjunct Neptune in Aries. This can be a fuzzy, very fuzzy line between reality and imagination. So on a good note, on a positive sign, it can be that we get this injection or boost of galactic or psychic energy or psychic downloads. But we have to be aware that since Neptune is at play here, because it's Mercury conjunct Neptune in Aries, first time in 150 years. Okay, Mercury in Aries, that's no BS, and it's direct and to the point. Again, got to watch temper, flare-ups, being impatient, being rash. That is the other thing that I think I mentioned. You have to have patience this month. Don't do anything rash. Think before you speak. Count to 10. I've had to do that already a couple of times this week. April 18th, Mars enters Leo. Again, Mars, fiery, warlike. Leo, I'm out front. Listen to me. This is very quick, very bold energy, very bold actions, bold statements. It's power. It's passionate. It can be bullying. It can be dramatic. It's on one hand, it's really okay to be bold. And with all of this energy that I've been talking about, like revisiting your plans, drawing up a new plan, looking at your beliefs, what needs to be let go of. So you need to be bold as well. It's such a balance this month between being bold, being patient, but just don't be pushy or don't strong arm anybody. So we have to have this balance. Now, April 19th, the sun enters Taurus. So we're out of Aries season, which is fiery, and into the very, very earthy sign of Taurus. So the energy should be shifting towards more of more of that four energy, but what part of that four entry and energy. It's more about being practical. So the Taurus is going to bring more of that up, and Taurus is earthbound. It's about the earth. So again, it might have something to do with real estate. It's being practical. It's money. But along with this, we have Mars in Leo, trine Neptune in Aries. This is powerful and does support creativity, intuition, very strong leadership that hopefully can translate into some type of real meaningful action. But no, it can also be stubborn. It could also bring about big egos, being prideful. But I'm hoping on that time, and during that time, we can experience some really positive aspects, not just these challenging ones. So on the 20th, Venus conjunct the North Node in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus, sextile North Node in Pisces. So happy Easter, happy Passover. Another fated day in relationships, a karmic turning point. It can bring fated meetings, reunions, deep realizations about love and partnerships. Again, another day that brings clarity to situations. It brings spiritual alignment, unexpected breakthroughs. This transit, this energy is a universe nudging us towards our highest truth, our destined path. And what's Pisces? Pisces is watery, it's intuition. We could be extra sensitive, we could also be extra tired, but I like most of that energy that day, especially the galactic downloads. Now, on the 25th, we have Venus conjunct Saturn in Pisces. Now, this could be a little bit of a heavy feeling. It's a more serious transit. It's a really great time, again, examine, reflect our values, our financial security, which for a lot of people is really being shaken this year. I do believe in the end it's all going to be fine. I don't see any type of crash or anything like that. But of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you from what I see as far as stars, numbers, and tarot. So it can bring a wake-up call, or being, having clear vision of what's really going on. It's reevaluation in a very serious way. And Saturn, again, can create these temporary limitations. Now, on the 27th, we have a new moon, a supermoon in Taurus, and we have Mars in Leo opposite Pluto in Aquarius. Well, new moon, that's new beginnings. Taurus is about security, material possessions. No doubt the financial market is going to remain volatile, but this may be an extra volatile day. It's pretty powerful, the 27th, pretty intense. But we do have the grounded manifesting energy of the new moon in Taurus that urges us what? Plant seeds, build something solid. Combined with this explosive, transformative clash of Mars and Pluto, which can be aggressive and bullying and boastful, but we also have an opportunity to take that energy and build something really solid, really wonderful. It can bring a clash of egos, power struggles. It can stir dramatic shifts and confrontations. But again, I'm thinking there's also some scientific breakthroughs, or something new about money can come out, Bitcoin. I see a lot of emphasis on, Bitcoin. So there also might be a feeling of this power struggle and cutting ties. Like, this is no longer working for me. This is the last straw. I can't do this anymore. So a lot of intense energy this month for sure. But overall, I have to say, I see this month, and I don't know if I'm being a Pollyanna about it, but I see this month because of all the intensity and all the seemingly transformational and struggles. I still see it as something like a wake-up call to look at things in our life and globally and say, where do I need to readjust my thinking? What do I need to do to move forward in a really positive way? What do I have to do to stop worrying so much about things? What do I have to do in my relationships? What needs uh, bolstering, and what relationships are no longer working for me? So it's a really important month for that. It's an important month for planting new seeds. So I will leave you with that. And I hope everybody has a great turning point month. And we'll see how it all plays out.